Jeff Wondra's here today from Snell Motors on the corner of Madison Avenue and Highway 22 in Mankato for Wheels with Wondra. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us today. Interesting topic today, and I find this interesting because when we were young, oil changes came after a certain amount of miles. Now we're all grown up, and our kids are getting close to that driving age and going to have to know about some automobile maintenance stuff. And it seems like the guidelines have changed a little bit when it comes to changing your oil.
Yeah, and I apologize to the farmers listening right now in the field. This is probably not the most exciting topic for you, but I feel like this comes up with my wife and I quite like once a year. Why do we put oil in the car anyway? That whole thing. So the number one routine maintenance is oil changes. And simply what you do is you remove the old oil in the vehicle and replace it with new, fresh oil and a new filter. So oil is not used like fuel, like gasoline in the vehicle. That is actually a common misconception. They think that oil is burned and you put in oil to burn in your vehicle. If it is burning oil, that's bad. What it does is it actually helps lubricate and cool or absorb the heat from all of the friction that's created in these internal components of your engine. So as oil breaks down and wears out, it becomes less effective on lubricating the engine and absorbing the heat. So think about it. If there's more friction, more heat, and it doesn't absorb it in that engine, one tiny little thing could be a complete catastrophe. I mean, it's like a perfect little microchip where a piece of sand will destroy it kind of situation. So that oil change that you often overlook or don't really think about or think it's kind of a waste of time is uber important in your vehicle. Now, the filter itself, what that does is it collects debris. Think of like a furnace filter and all that air going through that filter, and it catches, like if you see those awesome commercials where they have these little, tiny little monsters, and it gets caught in the filter.
Get caught in the filters on the way up?
Yeah, think of it like that for your engine. So in your engine, you have all this oil cooling things down, and all of a sudden you start to get a filter you forgot to change because you did it at home. And all of that debris starts to get into the engine. It starts to wear down the sides of like your pistons, and things start to get little crevices and divots here and there, and then it starts burning oil where it shouldn't burn oil, and that's where bad things start to happen. All because of neglect of a $5 filter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That small thing can become something huge. So the next question is, how often should I change my oil? Now, there isn't really a blanket answer that covers everybody. It depends on where you live, how old your vehicle is, what kind of driving you do, those situations. So if you talk to like any technician, mechanic, service advisor, they're going to tell you 3,000 miles is a good rule of thumb. You're safe. Everybody's safe at 3,000 miles. You're good to go there. Manufacturers will suggest 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,000 miles per oil change with the synthetic blended oil. So it's not a full synthetic because there you're looking at about 10,000 miles. But it's like a 60-40 blend, so it does last longer, and it keeps itself like the lubricity, so it lubricates longer. It doesn't break down as quickly, so you do get a little bit of more value for your money by using that. But if you decide to change it at 3,000, they're not going to turn away your business by any means. Now, most people that have bought a GM vehicle for the past 15 years, we are using the Dexos oil in all those vehicles. So if you're wondering what kind of oil we're using, it's a very, very common, and once they came out with it, I think it was like 2011, 2012, it became backwards compatible in all the older vehicles as well. Can you change it at home? Yes, you can, but the cost of getting the filter, the oil, the tools to do it, the ramps to get your vehicle up, and something to catch it, the funnels to put the new oil in, it all becomes more expensive than taking it to a genuine GM dealer that does a multi-point vehicle inspection and looks for the open recalls. So I don't recommend doing that, but at least today, now you know why we put oil in our vehicles. It is very, very important to do so. So please don't neglect it, especially when it gets really, really hot or really, really cold this winter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably the worst at it when it gets sloppy and cold and miserable, and I'm just like, I'll get to it later. And then I don't. It's good to have folks that can get you in and out real quick, and they can do that at Snell Motors if you need an oil change. You can book those online, too, can't you?
Online, on your cell phone, however you want to do it. It's super easy to do it, and you don't ever have to go outside when you do it at Snell Motors, which is awesome.
Drop it off and then take a car for a test drive with Jeff today if you're getting your oil changed at Snell Motors. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Motors, thank you.